friends, welcome back to my channel Eco Times 2020. How are you all? I'm fine. Hope you all are good. Today I'll be starting with chapter 4, Elasticity of Demand. In this chapter we will be covering types of elasticity, factors influencing elasticity of demand, and numericals related to this chapter. So let's get started. So friends, we would be using two important terms in this chapter that are elastic and inelastic. I hope you know the meaning of elastic and inelastic. Let me give you a small example. When you see this rubber band, I can stretch it as much as possible. So, it is elastic because it can be stretched. It can change its shape. Right? On the other hand, if we take this pen, we cannot stretch it. Let's try. No, I'm not able to stretch this pen. So it is inelastic. You must be thinking that such a kiddish example I'm giving, but it's really essential to give you the example of these two things. As when we will be discussing the factors influencing elasticity of demand, you might get confused while giving the answers. So it's essential to know what is the meaning of elastic and inelastic in this chapter. Let's get started with the elasticity of demand. Types of elastic demands. First one, perfectly elastic demand. Or we can say that demand is up to infinity. Elasticity is up to infinity. That means it can be stretched up to infinity. So ED is infinity. I hope you understood what is perfectly elastic demand. I'll just tell the explanation of this type of demand. When there is an infinite demand or perfectly elastic demand at prevailing price and demand becomes zero with a slight rise in the price, such demand is said to be perfectly elastic. Such type of demand curve is horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis. So you can give an example or explain it a little bit more with the diagram by giving a schedule. The schedule can be somewhat like this. Let this be P and this be Q. Okay? Price remains constant and quantity is changing. That too, it is increasing. So we can give a schedule like this. Let's move on to perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand. The diagram for perfectly inelastic demand is such that, and elasticity of demand is 0 here. When there is no change in demand, then with the change in price, the demand for such commodity is said to be perfectly inelastic. In such a case, demand curve will be vertically straight line parallel to y-axis. So you can see the demand is not changing, but the price is changing. So can you tell me what will be the schedule for perfectly inelastic demand? Let's make fun. When the demand is constant, let it be 10, but the price is changing. So can be 5, 3. Change doesn't mean increase or decrease. It can be anything. It may increase or it may decrease. That depends. So there is change. This is the schedule. Let's move on to unit elastic demand. Let's move on to unitary elastic demand. When, as you can see the diagram, you might have assumed that the price and the quantity are changing in the same level. If you thought it, then you're right. When there is change in quantity demand which is equal to change in price, then the demand for such commodity is known as unitary elastic demand. In this case, the demand curve is a rectangular hyperbola. This is the diagram. Here, elasticity of demand is equal to 1. So, ED is equal to 1. The schedule for this diagram can be PQ. It is equal, so 5, 5, 10, 10. This is the schedule. Next type of demand is elastic demand or more than unit elastic demand. As the name suggests, elasticity of demand is greater than 1. So you can see the diagram over here. Let me give you the explanation. When percentage change in quantity demanded is more than percentage change in price, then the demand for such commodity is said to be highly elastic or more than unit elastic. So the demand curve will be flatter. As you can see, it is flat and it is same as this perfectly elastic demand. So if you forget about elastic demand, or when the question comes and it says more than unit elastic demand and you don't know what to write, you just think about it. So perfectly elastic demand is flat, completely flat. So elastic demand is not completely flat, but it is greater than unit elastic but not equal to perfect elastic. So this is the diagram for elastic demand. Let's move on to inelastic demand or less than unit elastic demand. When percentage change in quantity demanded is less than percentage change in price, then the demand for such commodity is said to be less than unit elastic demand or inelastic demand. As the name suggests, inelastic, it is also similar to perfectly inelastic demand. As you can see, it is vertical. So it is like this. It is steep, completely flat, but it is steep. So it will also be steep, but it is less than unit elastic, but not equal to perfectly inelastic. So the diagram is like this. So ED is less than 1. I hope you understood all the types of elastic demands. Now let's move on to factors influencing the elasticity of demand. The first factor is nature of commodity. Necessary commodity is inelastic and luxurious commodity is elastic. Just think that if a person is suffering from an ailment, then he has to buy the medicine. Whether its prices go up or down, he will have to buy the medicine. It is a necessity for him. So, will he be inelastic in buying the medicine? Can he can he think that if the prices will go down, then only I will buy the medicine? No, he will have to buy the medicine. So, the necessary goods are inelastic. Let's move on to the luxurious goods. Just think, whenever the prices of gold, diamond, silver goes down, people start buying them. But when their prices go up, they stop buying them. This shows that luxurious goods are elastic. They can be bought anytime It is not a necessity for us. These are luxurious goods, so they are elastic. We may or may not buy them. Next one is availability of substitutes. When there are more substitutes, then more substitutes for goods such as this pen has lot of substitutes. So the demand will be elastic because I have this as well, I have some other pen as well. I may or may not buy this pen. I can buy any of the pens. So it is elastic. It is an elastic demand. It's my choice whether I want to buy any other pen that is less costly, it is cheaper, it is good quality, and etc. Next is less substitutes. When it is my necessity to buy these highlighters, I will have to buy these two highlighters and there are no other brand except these two, except this brand. I will have to buy this brand because there are no substitutes. Number of uses. There can be, when there are several uses of some commodity, then the demand is said to be elastic. I can use this pen. For example, I can use this scrunchie as a headband, as a scrunchie, as a handband, as something to fold and keep it. I can use it as anything. But this pen has limited use. I can only write with this pen. So, when there are several uses, the demand is elastic. When there are limited uses, the demand is inelastic. The next one is time period. When there is short period of time, then the demand is inelastic. And when there is long period of time, then the demand is elastic. So here we can consider habits, because when trend or habits, when trend or habits change with the change in time period in a short period of time, then it is inelastic. But when habits or trend do not change for a long period of time, then it is elastic. I hope you understood all these factors affecting elasticity of demand. Okay, focus is gone. Okay, it is here back. So I hope you have understood. Now I'll be giving the numericals. First I will upload this video, then I will upload the other video, because if I will upload this video with the numericals, then video will become very long. So I will be telling other factors as well as the numericals in the upcoming video. So see you next time. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to follow my Instagram account and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. And after every 2 days I will be posting the videos of all the chapters. And just let me know in the comment box if you want me to post the first chapter again. Otherwise, I'll be starting with Consumer's Equilibrium after the numericals video. Thank you guys for supporting me.